Today is Monday, July 7th, 2025. Time is 5:30, and we have our Common Council meeting, Parks and Recreation Family Service Committee meeting today. Chair, myself, Owusu Anani, committee members present, Councilmember Richard Conti, Jack Flynn, Joyce Love. And we have also staff here with us. Unfortunately, we had applicants we were looking forward to interviewing, but unfortunately, we're not able to be available due to an emergency. So is there a motion to...
I make a motion to adjourn due to unforeseen circumstances.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion passes. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
now Kingston is trying to get it. No, they canceled the meeting. I know, we didn't have it. Because they wanted to Zoom people in from across the country, and we don't want to get into it. Well, I could bring in, I'll get 30, 40 people. If they want to sit there and, Jack wants to sit there and
That's the thing, that's the challenge. You're gonna decide to do this. You need, a lot of time to get these experts to
Well, we'll see. And I mean, there was something just recent, and I didn't hear it. Somebody told me they heard it, that there was some federal court, and they said that it's okay. So I don't know what's going on. You just gotta wait and see. Look, I didn't see you.
Okay, so we ready? Is this on? It doesn't seem like it's on. Okay. Members, please return to your seats so we get started.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome to the Monday, July 7th caucus and work session of the Albany Common Council. Mr. Jimenez, please call the roll.
Adams. Anane. Valloran.
Here.
Clark. Conti.
Here.
Farrell.
Here.
Flynn. Frederick is absent. Hoey.
Here.
Johnson is absent. Keegan.
Here.
Kimbrough.
Here.
Love. Robinson and Zamer.
Here.
9 present. We're also joined by City Clerk Shaniqua Jackson, Corporation Counsel Robert McGee, Legislative Director Brian Jimenez, Junior Policy Analyst Alyssa Kamara, Junior Legislative Aide Carly Johnson, and 9th Ward Intern Margaret McCallum.
Okay, thank you. So we'll start. We'll start with the agenda. For starters, I'll be offering the June 16th meeting minutes for approval. Then next, local laws are held. On to ordinances. Under ordinances introduced, we'll have ordinance 97125 by Councilmember Johnson. It's for introduction only. Mr. Anani will be introing that on his behalf. Then next, we have ordinance 107125 by Ms. Frederick. It's an ordinance authorizing the sale of various city-owned properties to the land bank. Mr. Anani will be doing the introduction on that also. On both of these, there'll be referrals to the Council's Finance Committee. The next, we're skipping ADUs. Next, on to resolutions. We have Ms. Frederick's resolutions for introduction. There's a 687125R. It's a resolution of the council approving the transfer of budgeted funds and a change in authorized positions included in the 2025 city budget. That'll affect the salary. That's going to be a referral to finance. Mr. Nani's got that on behalf of Ms. Frederick. And next, by Ms. Love, resolution for introduction only. It'll be a referral to Parks and Rec. It's Resolution 697125R. It's a resolution of council supporting the installation of a mural on the West Hill Community Center commemorating significant community figures. Again, it'll be discussed in Parks and Rec. Then next, by Ms. Keegan, which is under consideration, it's Resolution 707125R. It's a resolution of council demanding that departments of the City of Albany to furnish books, vouchers, and papers for the Common Council investigation of workforce culture. What we'll be doing for that is we'll go into executive session to discuss that because it's got to do with personnel and yeah. So that'll be done in executive session.
Kelly, is it possible to take that out of order at the end of the resolutions, just in case there's anybody impacted, so they won't necessarily have to wait for executive session?
Okay, that's fine. I didn't think it was going to take a long time to do it, but yeah, we'll move it to the end. Okay, next, where are we here? Next, resolution by Council Member Hoey, Resolution 717125R. It's a resolution of the Common Council celebrating July 4th as Independence Day. All co-sponsors on that, please. Then next, by Mr. Johnson's Resolution 727125R. Mr. Nani will be handling that, the introduction of that also. It's a resolution honoring the life and legacy of Destiny A. Green and renaming a portion of Wilbur Street in her honor. That'll be a referral to the General Services Committee. Okay, then next, we're getting into some appointments and reappointments. This one's by Mr. Anani. It's a resolution of Common Council appointing Jonathan Nix as a member of the Commission on Monuments and Public Art. Is he with us here? Is he in the room or on screen? He's on the screen? This over here, it's not on.
Hello?
Yeah, hold on just a second, sir. We can't see you. It's not plugged in? Is the plug out? Or is that not the plug? Okay, and Mr. Nix, we're looking just for a brief introduction. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yes. So I'm Councilman Kimbrough. Can you just brief introduction and that should suffice.
My name, as you know, is Jonathan Nix. I've applied for an appointment to the Monuments Commission, Monuments and Public Art. My background is in, and interests are, in my career, I was a graphic designer. I am interested in historic preservation and in any form of public art, some of which in my dim past I've executed myself, but that's been a while. But I've been also on a committee in Pittsfield when I lived in Berkshire County that was also involved with public art.
Okay, thank you, sir, and welcome and thank you for your interest in being a part of the commission.
Sorry.
Okay, that was Mr. Nani. Next, also Mr. Nani, Resolution 74-7125R. It's a resolution of the Common Council appointing Brian Fonder as a member of the task force on the municipal flag. We have Mr. Fonder on the line? Oh, okay. All right, so you just pop up here real quick? Just a brief introduction and why you're interested.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brian Fonder. I am a graphic designer by education, I guess. I'm a UI UX designer by career. I am seeking to join the new commission on the municipal flag as a, I would say, fairly long-time resident of Albany. I've been here for 8 years. I have a huge interest in graphic design and flags specifically. My qualifications through education and career work would be a great asset to that committee to work on getting the best new flag for the city.
Okay, thank you, sir. Again, welcome and thank you for being willing to serve.
Thank you.
Next, also by Mr. Nani, Resolution 75-7125R. It's a resolution of the Common Council appointing Liz Richards Hart as a member of the task force on the municipal flag. Is she here? Okay, all right. Okay, moving right along. See, resolution also by Mr. Anani, Resolution 76-7125R. It's a resolution of the Common Council appointing Duncan Lindsay as a member of the task force on the municipal flag. Yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Duncan Lindsay. I've lived in the Capital Region for most of my life and currently reside in Albany. Flags have long been a passion of mine. I believe that Albany is currently going through an enormously transformative period in our history, and that flags serve as an excellent symbol by which we can rally around. And that having a city flag with some better design that is simple, that speaks more to the spirit of the city, speaks more to the spirit of the people, will make people love that symbol, but also reflexively make them love this city more, and in this place that we all call home. Yeah, I've long had interest in vexillology, and just really want to see what this city comes up with this task force going forward. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for being willing to serve and your interest. Okay, next, also by Mr. Nani, it's Resolution 77-7125R, resolution of the Common Council appointing Benjamin Hauk as a member of the task force on the municipal flag. Mr. Hauk. Is Mr. Hauk here? Okay. All right, moving right along. And again, not to slow things down, but what we usually do is try to get people before us before we move along to any of our committees. So I'm okay with moving ahead with the two absent folks, but as a body, if members have an issue with that, then we won't. Okay, Mr. Nani's next resolution, 787125R, a resolution of the council appointing Jonathan Patrizio as a member of the task force on the municipal flag. Is Mr. Patrizio here? Here you go.
Hello, everyone. My name's Jonathan. Honored to be here once again. I was nominated to be part of this task force, and I'm very honored for that. I'm very passionate about community. I'm very passionate about the city of Albany. And when you look around closer at things, it's clear that some things represent an uglier side of our history, and I'm excited to hopefully be able to bring out some of the great things from our history, starting with the flag.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your interest and welcome. Okay, next items we're going to be adding by majority consent. It's Resolution 7971. 25R by Mr. Adams, is a resolution of council celebrating the Albany Fire Board's historic undefeated 2025 season and 2025 Arena Crown Championship win. We have those gentlemen here with us today, so, okay.
Yes.
We can, want to move it out of order and move them up?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. And I believe we're all co-sponsors on the Firebirds resolution. Next, by Mr. Ballaran, Resolution 807125. It's a resolution supporting the Albany County Land Bank in its application to Empire State Development's Pro-Housing Supply Fund program for state assistance in funding the Ontario Street development. Okay. And this is time sensitive, right? We want to move forward with it, right? Yep. Gotcha. Okay. Anybody have any questions about that? And then also, we already, under resolutions held, Ms. Keegan's resolution 505225R, it's a resolution of the Common Council designating July as Disability Pride Month. And I guess we can do a show of hands for co-sponsors, or we can do it by vote. Okay. All right. All right, and so that was it for the agenda. Right, and so we're going to move Resolution 7125R to the end of the agenda, and we're going to move the Firebirds up and take them out of order. Okay? All right. Does anyone have anything else? Ms. Farrell?
Hi, yeah, I just wanted to provide a quick update. I think everybody is probably tuned in to everything that happened over the July 4th weekend. But we connected with Chief Cox and just wanted to provide an update to council members on some of the things that were happening. So there was 3 separate incidents. The first one was at 5:30 in the afternoon. A 15-year-old male was shot in the foot. He's going to be fine. They are working with the school district and are working with the victim and the parents to help identify the shooter, and they are working on that. The second one is the one I think that most of us are familiar with. At 10 o'clock, soon after the fireworks were released, there were 2 groups of 14 to 18-year-olds that had some issues with each other. One group had a gun, the other group had a flare gun. Each group shot off their thing. The flare gun went into 333 Madison. That and the building next door were engulfed in flames and were subsequently taken down. Nobody was injured. There was an occupant in 333 that was able to get out safely. There are 4 people that were hit. None of them appear to be involved, that it does appear to be completely just random. 3 of them were treated and released. One, a 17-year-old, was hit in the head and is in critical condition, and that condition continues on. There are no updates from that. The chief was confident that they will be closing that case. There's also an officer that was injured. The officer is fine. After 1 a.m., there was another incident where there were people hanging out on a porch at a house. Someone came by and shot at the house. There were 5 people that were hit. None of the injuries are life-threatening. Some of them may have long-term impacts from it, but everyone will survive from that. The chief is hoping that they can solve that. They have a lot of work with it. This case was not connected. None of these cases were connected to each other. But this specific case is connected to previous crimes, and they do have information on it. There is an ongoing issue with flare guns, and APD is working actively to see what they can do to, right now, work with different businesses. There's not known businesses in the city of Albany that are selling flare guns, but they are easier, of course, to purchase. And this is something that is an issue region-wide, that they're finding it all around, that there's been a shift to flare guns. So they've been working with other regional police departments, sheriff's departments, and also with the state police to see what they can do about it. Right now, if you're under 16, you can't use a flare gun, so they are enforcing that. If anybody that they find who is under 16 with a flare gun is obviously arrested, but that is something that is a lot easier to get than other weapons. A reminder that it is normal for violence to escalate over the summer, so to really encourage people to see something, say something. It would be great if this summer that was not the case. It is rather scary that this is happening at this state, but encourage people to talk to the police as much as possible. We should all be doing everything we can to put our neighbors at ease. The police are working very actively, and it's also, this is something that we need every partner that we can get. So I fully encourage everybody to work with every form of government that we possibly can, And as we get updates, if there's anything that we can actively do or actively participate in, we will do that. I know that we'll be sharing some information on the Violence Prevention Task Force at some point in the very near future. We don't have an update on that right now, but we are, of course, actively involved. So just wanted to provide that update.
Ms. Love?
Is the meeting still scheduled for Wednesday, 2 o'clock with Chief Cox?
I don't know about that meeting.
Gabriella was supposed to set something up.
Oh, that's right.
Joyce, that's a different meeting.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
different issue.
It's a different subject matter.
Yes, okay.
Okay, with that, Mr. President, it's yours.
Call to order tonight's Albany Common Council meeting, Monday, July 7th, 2025. Can the clerk please call the roll?
Adams.
Present.
Anani.
Present.
Valorant.
Present.
Clark.
Here.
Conti. Farrow.
Here.
Flynn.
Present.
Frederick. Hoey.
Here.
Johnson. Keegan.
Here.
Kimbrough.
Here.
Love.
Here,
Robinson.
Here.
Zamer.
Here.
13 present, 2 absent.
Thank you. Could you please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance, and after that, we'll have a moment of silence. Move to our agenda. We do have a request to take one of our resolutions out of order, so I will recognize Mr. Kimbrough.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move well, actually, we have to add,
We'll have to add it for majority consent.
yes, we'll add resolutions 7971, 25R by Mr. Adams by majority consent, as well as Resolution 8071, 25R by Mr. Bowron. Motion to add them by majority consent.
Is there a second on that? Thank you, Mr. Hoey. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. President, motion to take Resolution 7971, 25R out of order.
Thank you. Second, any second?
Second.
on that? Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Mr. Adams.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Council. Thank you for everyone joining us this evening. This evening, I have brought in our Albany...
Can you do the introduction of the resolution
sorry,
first?
sorry.
And then
Got a
you
little
can
ahead of
make a
myself.
Statement later.
Excuse me. I'd like to notice Resolution 79, 71, 25R, and ask for its reading and passage.
Thank you. Can the clerk please read the resolution?
A resolution of the Common Council celebrating the Albany Firebirds' historic undefeated 2025 season and 2025 Arena Crown Championship win.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Adams, discussion on this resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, thank you everyone for joining us this evening. This evening, I'm excited and ecstatic to have our Albany Firebirds team come into the council chambers to award them and provide them with a resolution for not only a terrific season with a 10-0 regular season record, but also winning the championship this year. This evening, we are joined by the co-owner, Mike Kawarda, head coach and GM, Damon Ware, along with CEO Jake Labrie. So I wanted these gentlemen to come in. I would love for the full team to have been here, but these gentlemen were able to fit this in their schedule, so I wanted to make sure that the representation for the team was here tonight. A few things just to mention about the Albany Firebirds. As I mentioned, they had an undefeated season of 10-0 record, winning the 2025 Arena Crown Championship. Some notable mentions to add in there is the quarterback Sam Castanova, who was named the championship MVP with a killer game of 7 touchdowns and 250 yards recording. Also, there was Dwayne Brown, second-year wide receiver. This year, he completed his season with over 61 receptions, over 900 yards, 30 touchdowns, and has been a great addition to the team thus far. To also include some of the offensive linemen on the team that were standouts this season, Kobe Bird, along with Isaiah Hardy. When you look, or anyone who watches football, when you look at an O-line, we know those are the guys that are protecting the quarterback, making sure that we are getting down the field. And those gentlemen during their games did exactly that. Not only just with good footwork, but with hard work and also good hands in certain situations. So it's great to have strong players, dedicated players here in our city. Another position that doesn't get often the glory, but to mention them as well because they were mentioned in some stories, Henry Nell. He's the kicker for the team, and Henry showed up plenty of times throughout the season, putting points on the board, making sure that in those games where the Firebirds was laying it to the other teams, that he was tacking on those points right along with them. So we appreciate Henry for his hard work. But for the gentleman here tonight, Mike, just want to say thank you for having the vision and love for arena football. Mike was a huge part in making sure that the Albany Firebirds remained here in the city of Albany, revitalizing the franchise, making sure that things in the past were left in the past and we were starting a new chapter and making sure that, again, we kept our football team, which is our city. Damon came in as coach and actually won Coach of the Year, which is a tremendous honor. The hard work and dedication for a coach to come in to a team, working with new players, creating an atmosphere for winning, a culture that is based on family and supporting each other, and having that support system showcase throughout the events and things that they have done throughout the season. That's, to me, a true leadership culture, true leadership in your front office, true leadership to the players. From what I've heard and see, they respect you so much highly. So when you have players who come here, who travel here to leave their families for weeks on end and to feel like Albany is home is a great feeling. Our CEO, Jacob, the Firebirds, your work has not gone unnoticed either. Your background as a player, helping with sales, boosting sales, your business management skills has helped this franchise immensely. And you continue to put them into place for growth and prosperity, and we look forward to the franchise growing. But one of the things I also wanted to mention, which I don't think the community often pays attention to, and maybe even the city, but it's a thing where the Albany Firebirds, a lot of what they've done during the season and off-season has been rooted in community, in the city of Albany, giving back. I know for you, Coach, that has been a big thing for you, and making sure that you are giving back. And just to name a few things that you have done, which I've been following along throughout the season, seeing the rebranding, seeing the social media engagement, seeing the community engagement, and with this month being July for Disability, the team has been a part of a disabled camp for kids, I believe, working also with the Special Olympics organization and program Best Buddies. Throughout the season, they have been hosting numerous block parties for people in the city of Albany to come to, attracting people in our downtown and giving them a reason to enjoy the city of Albany while watching a amazing, thrilling, fun game. So wanted to bring them in to let them know that we as a city, we value you. We thank you for the hard work, the dedication, for making Albany your home. And we look forward to the next season. And for anyone here and listening that has not made it to a Albany Fire Games, please make sure you get your tickets for next season. Please support this team. If we want to keep them here, we need to make sure that our community is also wrapping around them and supporting them and their players while they're here. So thank you this evening, and thank you, Coach. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to your equipment staff, your medical staff, everyone that you have brought in to make sure that the players are taken care of, you guys are taken care of, and for putting Albany on the map. So thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none? Mr. Nani?
2 seconds, 2 seconds. You know, I just want to say congratulations to the Albany Firebirds. You know, your hard work, dedication, and teamwork really shine both on the field and off the field. And your success really brings pride to the Albany community. So I just want to say thank you for all you do and your community outreach. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, can the clerk call the roll? Oh, since you're all co-sponsors, this will be a voice vote. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? None, because all co-sponsors. Resolution passes. Congratulations on your successful 2025 championship season, Albany Firebirds. Can you come up? We'd like to take a picture with the proclamation. Yes. Thank you. Congratulations. Right now, we will go back to our regular scheduled agenda, which is our public comment period. Because we have so many people signed up for the public comment period, you'll have 3 minutes to speak upon any issue you'd like to speak upon. During that 3-minute time frame, council members cannot address you. They cannot answer any of your questions. So please do not direct any questions to the council members at this time because they cannot answer you. This is your time to speak. Council members, if they choose to do so, may respond at a later time in the agenda to what you speak. So you have 3 minutes. The green light, when you come, just state your name. You do not have to give your direct address, but the city or town that you live in, and then speak. When it gets to yellow, you have 1 minute to close your comments. And then after the yellow, when it hits red, that means stop and conclude your comments at that time. So with that being said, please do not applaud because we have so many people and we like to get people in and out quickly. Your applause does slow things down. So please hold your applause after someone speaks. And with that said, can the clerk please call the first speaker?
Beth Jacobs.
Wait till you get to the mic, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Good evening. I have not been here in 20 years, but
Can you have a seat, ma'am? You can take a seat if you wish.
But I
If you don't,
thought-
just state your name and where you live.
Okay. My
Doesn't
name
have to be
is
the street, just the city.
Beth Jacobs. I don't happen to live in the city, but I happen to work in the city.
Yep, go ahead.
So I'm going to preface this with, I'm a former lifeguard, volunteer firefighter and ambulance worker, Red Cross volunteer, Habitat for Humanity volunteer. I've worked with individuals who wish to exit the psychiatric system, but my main job is teaching dance, and then I do film work. And about a month ago, I had a very troubling experience near the Brighter Choice for Girls. Now you see I have some of my motorcycle gear with me. I'm lucky enough to have my license. And they tell you in training, which do you prefer? If you want to wear heavy gear, then you prefer a hot room. If you prefer to have gravel in your skin, go without it. So I'm not exactly sure what was in this gentleman's mind. All I know is I was in my Dionysi gear, I believe, which is black, and it's really expensive, so this also kind of hurts my feelings. But I didn't have my helmet on, and I have a big bag with scarves and instruments, and I'm walking down North Lake, and I see out of the corner of my eye some kind of mental hygiene van. I don't know, maybe it had nothing to do with me, but it seemed to me it was keeping pace with me. Maybe he just thought I was dressed out of season. I don't know. But I assure you, it was very unnerving. And having done all of those things that I mentioned that I have done, and currently working at a Mazda North America outreach program that was the founder director, what became a North America Mazda hero during COVID, and they gave her a car and all these things. I hate doing it, but I have to bus homeless people, prostitutes, drug dealers, people shooting up in the children's playground. And I have to do these things to make it safe. And I hate it from the bottom of my heart. But I tell you, money being spent, and I must tell you, it was very scary. And what's funnier, but it's not funny, is I do know some people of better means than me. And if he thought I was dressed down, he should see some of my friends that have million-dollar bank accounts, who drive 20, 25-year-old cars. But I assure you, the homeless, I can't speak for all of them, but from my experience in all of those activities, if they're out there, it's because they did not find what they needed in the psychiatric system. And if you're sending out vans, I don't know who it was. That was kind of terrifying. So that is what I'm calling, that's why I showed up today. And may I suggest you use your funding in a better way than whoever that was, if you fund that organization. I didn't want to look at them, I had a place to go, but it was quite unnerving. Thank you.
Thank you. Can the clerk call the next speaker?
Mary Carter.
Mary Carter, Delaware Avenue area, Albany. Here about the issues at 45 Central Avenue. For the issues at 45 Central Avenue, I'm quite sure everybody knows what's going on there. One of the workers had a gun pulled to him last month. 2 police officers was assaulted. Last Thursday, I was assaulted by someone who don't even live in the building and not on the lease. So when they separated us, I was walking to my car. Joyce Love was at the end of the walkway. She said to me, "BITCH, you deserve everything you get," and laughed in my face. Everything is on camera. They seen everything. Yes, I was attacked, and I hope no false statements was given out, because if there was, maybe she might be deserving of whatever she get, because I filed another complaint on her with the Attorney General's office.
Clerk, call the next speaker.
Yanzen Hung.
Is it working? Oh, it is, okay. My name is Yuanzi Huang. I commonly go by Jefferson. I've been living in Albany, New York since the fall of 2018. And ever since then, I've been living with my father in the Danker Village Apartments, which is not too far from the SUNY Albany campus of Washington Avenue. Our issue right now is with the rent increase. I know there was like the good eviction cause law that happened not too long ago, which seen the reduction of the rent down between 5 to 8%. But even then, it is still financially unbearable for us, as it is still at least, I think, $60 increment per year. When we first moved into Danker Village under the old management, it was like between, I think, $20 and $30 per year. What was I gonna say? But I guess like we've spoken with the management, and they've promised a lot of like, I guess like improvisations and improvements to the living conditions of like both the older and the newer apartments alike, but that clearly hasn't been the case. They fell short on their promises, and the most they have done is just collecting rent from us and unreasonably increasing it every year. Thank you.
Thank you. Can the clerk call the next speaker?
Bridget Savage Spees.
Hello, my name is Bridget Savage Spees. I live on Van Schoik in Ward 9. So I am here to speak in support of both Danker Village and Ida Yarborough tenant unions that are here today. Danker Village has been organizing as a tenant union for over a year, and last year this council passed a resolution in support, but so far Cass Hill Management Company has not come to the table to negotiate with them. They're facing significant rent increases, as talked about, and they still have significant maintenance issues, maintenance being completely unresponsive, and many public safety issues, such as flimsy door frames that have allowed for break-ins, and insufficient repairs to fix things like that. So tenants there really need Cass Hill Management to come to the table and negotiate with the union like you would expect an employer to do if the employees formed a union. But so far, Cass Hill has been completely unwilling to do that. And there's a very similar theme at Ida Yarborough, which is unfortunately managed by the Albany Housing Authority. So Albany Housing Authority not negotiating with these tenants is pretty unacceptable. In response to tenant requests for basic issues like clear emergency exit signage, a solution to rodent issues, and a plan for dealing with drug dealing, drug use, and brutal violence. In the lobby, the Housing Authority closed their community room and fired their community coordinator. While the community room has been reopened, the community coordinator has not been rehired. And this council has heard stories from tenants about how, has heard stories from tenants about how they feel unsafe bringing their grandchildren to their building or leaving their rooms after dark. I understand that lowering crime, especially violent crime on Albany streets, is a priority for this council. But I think we need to start with making sure that people feel safe in their homes, especially in a place that's managed by Albany Housing Authority. And you here on the council have a voice that you can use to speak to the Albany Housing Authority, and I would encourage you all to do so, to make sure that they come to the table with tenants with real solutions to fix the very serious problems that they're facing and that you'll hear more about from them. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Can the clerk call the next speaker?
Frederick Tibbetts Jr. Frederick.
So I'm Fred Tibbetts Jr. I was born in Albany and went to Albany High School. After that, I went around the world. 28 years in New York, 23 years based in Bangkok, working in India, Greater China, and Korea. 3.6 million miler with United Airlines, all that stuff. If you Google me, you'll be reading for a week. But I'm nobody special, believe me. I know better than anybody. I just always was like a sponge. I wanted to learn everything I could, and I had great mentors. And President Rodriguez at SUNY says I'm the eldest returning student. I'll be 80 in March. I'm also going to Hudson Valley. I like the vibe there with all the immigrants. And I mentor students at both places. So I like that. Now, the reason I told you all that is to give you a frame of reference. That I don't have an Albany frame of reference, I have a global frame of reference. And I love Albany and all that. Albany Academy, I mean, I had the best education. Salisbury School in Connecticut, and last 2 years at Albany High. But the Cass Hill Management Company that runs Danker Village, I guess is a rich guy that has many complexes, and their motto is do as little as possible and don't give an inch unless necessary. That's basically what it comes down to. And there's no insulation. So I have a downstairs apartment. There's a lady above me. If she gets up at night to take a piss, I hear every footstep, and she's not wearing high heels. If I turn on the TV, she can hear mine. If she turns on the TV, I can hear hers. It's disgraceful. Their attitude and the situation. Albany deserves better. Thank you.
Thank you. Can the clerk go on speaker? Next speaker, please.
Veronica Roundtree.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Veronica Roundtree, AKA Mama Love. I'm the founder of Mothers to Sons. Mothers Talk to Your Sons about gun violence. Obviously, both cities went crazy over the weekend, and I'm just trying to find help, someone to help me stop our kids from killing each other, because that's how it's going. We have to save our own children. I just need some people to participate with me, somebody that cares about our communities for our kids. So if I could just get a little help from your mayor in Albany, your mayor in Troy, whom I'm already called and asked for meetings, hoping to hear a response real soon. It's a state of emergency. Our kids is dying all around the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Can the clerk call next speaker?
Candy McFarland. Candy McFarland.
Bear with me, guys. I'm a little nervous. This is my first time doing this. I'm Candy McFarland. I'm representing ID Yarborough. I'm in 260. It's a whole long thing, and I know we got 3 minutes, so I'm gonna do the best I can to shorten it. Pretty much what she said back there, the conditions are so much worse as far as the smell. The bugs keep coming into apartment. Like me and a few tenants I talked to, we're near a trash chute. I don't know why they put the trash chute on every floor, but it doesn't get properly cleaned. That's where the bugs coming in. That's where the mice is coming in. And it goes through the wall under my stove, and I had calls. Those were the problems were, and then I had to get, and then there's so much waste of money buying products, door stoppers I had to get. I got so many door stoppers from my bedroom to the front door to stop these things, buying products, borax, everything. That's crazy. Nobody shouldn't have to live like this. Then the safety, they took the side door out, so now tenants, we gotta sit out front, because some people who have mobile issues don't wanna go all the way around Livingston to come up to the patio. Or sometimes I like to rest out there in the front because I have second right foot surgery, so I got bad feet. The conditions, the elevator. Now that's the biggest problem too I had, because I'm a transfer from another building, Green Street. So I got stuck 9 times in the elevator. They had moved me to Ida Yarborough, but I had a doctor's note. So really I'm not even supposed to be in the building with an elevator. Then it's the rental issues. It's just like so much after back and back and back. We're just tired of it. I'm tired of it. It gets my anxiety up. And then we had the senator come in. She almost threw up on my floor because that's how bad the smell is. Like, it's so ridiculous. And just the community room. We don't have a community room no more, barely. Sometimes there's meetings, but other times it's not. We like to sit down, have us talk, have us play games, have us get to know each other and make a better living in Ida Yarborough. That's what we need. We need the safety. Y'all want the safety for the streets, we understand that, but it need to be safety in the buildings too. And then there's another issue, my mom calling me. She's 70-something years old. People keep trying to break in her apartment. We both got issues. It's like stressing hearing her, trying to get her out of there, and then I'm trying to get out of there. So hopefully Ida Yarborough does a change, and just all this mess needs to end. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Can the clerk call the next speaker?
Henry North. Sir, we'll bring the
Mr.
microphone
North?
to you.
Okay, you rather? Okay.
Hi, my name is Henry North. I live at Ida Yarborough. I'm not trying to change Albany. I'm not trying to root for any team. I'm trying to get safety where I live. Drug dealers in the building, selling drugs inside the building. They got cameras. We already had somebody get shot, and they died in the building. I'm 68 years old. I shouldn't have to go through that. Nobody should. Governor Hochul had that building renovated, but yet we got mice. My cat's caught 4 mice up on the 7th floor. That means that whole building is infected. And that side door they took out, that was my way of getting to the store. I tipped over in the driveway a couple of times. It's not handicap acceptable the way I gotta go. And the ramp, you go down the ramp, I almost tip over because they ain't fixing nothing. And they get money from HUD. Every year, I like to know where that money's going because they sure ain't putting it in Ida Yarborough. I'm a citizen. I paid taxes. I paid for every one of you to sit up in that chair to make a decision. I'm also invite you to move into Ida Yarborough. I guarantee you won't stay there a week. But yet, people that are 68, 53 that live in that building has to put up with it every day because they're afraid to open their mouths because they might get shot. I'm not afraid. I'm the one that's not afraid. I've seen part of my life. And if I got to die coming here each month, I will. Thank you.
Can I please call the next speaker?
Bevin Francis.
My name is Bevin Francis. I live in Albany. First, I would like to acknowledge the violence that we experienced this weekend here in Albany, and I grieve with the rest of our community for our youth. But today I'm here as a tenant organizer. I'm here in support of the Ida Yarborough and Danker Village tenant unions. Danker has been organizing for better living conditions for over a year. They had letters written in support by then Senator Breslin and Assemblymember Fahey to the landlord, and this council also passed a resolution in support of Danker Village. I was in the picture. And nothing has changed. Over a year later, Cass Hill has still not acknowledged the union. Conditions haven't improved, and the union is declining because there's just no hope. And it's the same thing for the folks over at Ida Yarborough. They've been organizing for 7 months and still no improvements. Albany Housing continues to ignore the tenants, and there seems to be money for a new property, but no money to invest in the existing tenants. And I ask why that is. We've received support from Assemblymember Gabriela Romero, and we need support from this council. We need support from the city of Albany. It is time for the city of Albany to stand up for its tenants. They're not asking for anything unreasonable. They just want to live without pest, mold, and violence. And as much as these landlords hope that we're going to go away, we're not. We're going to keep fighting. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Can the clerk call the next speaker?
Tammy King.
Good evening.
Evening.
I'm Tammy King. I'm a retired occupational therapist. I live in Ida Yarborough. The conditions in Ida Yarborough are unacceptable for anybody to live in there. There is rats, mice, roaches, there's drugs and stuff everywhere. July 4th, I walk into the hallway, they're right there, snorting the lines. It's ridiculous. We've asked for help. I come to you to ask y'all, can you guys help us? Stand with us. Something. At my age, we shouldn't have to take and sit and argue and walk around with mace, a razor, and a taser. I never had to do that before, and I'm doing it where I live. The only thing Albany Housing has gave us is lip service. They will do the very least, and that is it. Or communicate. Come on up and see what's going on. Don't just give lip service. I invite all of you to come up there and see what's going on. Don't come just when the office is open. Come in the evening time. Come smell how it smells and see what you see. They keep saying that it's people's friends that's coming in like that. No, it's not. It's people coming in there because they know there's no police presence in the building at all, even though Caucus said that he would send somebody to patrol. They know the police doesn't come down there at all. They drive by and look. This has to stop. We need help. And I invite all of you to come down. You could call my phone and let me show you what's going on. And I thank each and every one of you for your time. And like I said, I invite you to come down. Not when the manager and them is there. Come down another time and just hang out and you see what happens. I thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Can the clerk call the next speaker?
Chris Sue.
Testing? No. Hi, my name's Chris Sue. I live in Ward 3 in Albany.
I wanted to voice my support for the Ida Yarborough Tenants Union and the Danker Village Tenants Union. Both tenants have endured poor living conditions, fearing for their security and safety. I believe all people in the city should have a safe and affordable place to live. The city was the first to opt into good cause eviction. That's only a first step in protecting and supporting the rights of tenants. For Ida Yarborough, I encourage Albany Housing Authority to address the issues the tenants have identified, and the Board of Commissioners is appointed by the mayor and should be able to hold them accountable. I read online that the executive director makes $155,000, so something should be done if they're getting paid by the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Can the clerk call the next speaker?
Peter Hassan.
Testing, testing. Hello? Okay, are we ready? First, my name is Peter Houston. I grew up primarily in Schenectady County. I've lived in Albany for about 10 years with a little bit in the middle teaching English in Asia and doing the same in Boston. I live at the Danker Village Apartments. And first, I think I'm about number 7, so I have to keep it interesting. Also, after listening to my brothers and sisters here at Ida Yarborough, I also feel like my problems are kind of inconsequential, but they are real. I also think that a little bit of prevention, intervention, government attention right now could prevent some big problems at Danker Village down the road. Okay. I moved in 2020 at the beginning of the pandemic when my then roommate and I disagreed on whether the pandemic was a big thing or not. I said it was. We should take precautions. She said no. And I thought I was living in a very nice, very safe place. I liked the management. I liked my neighbors. They were mostly old immigrant working class people and foreign students. I was screened carefully. They said no more than 2 unrelated people in the same apartment. They checked my budget. Now there's no screening, as far as I know. 4 unrelated people in the apartment next to mine, all young men. I'm training them to behave, but it's a lot of work. A lot of things have gone downhill. Any case, I've been asked to submit some papers. Here's what I have. Last year's stuff from the resolutions from the council, the government asking Cass Hill to negotiate, to meet with the tenants union. They have not done that. Some people think they're refusing. Let me suggest maybe there's just nobody making decisions down there. Here's another document. Shows how much, there are 9 laundry rooms in that place, 4 machines in each one, 36 machines altogether. Each week we've been checking 6, 8, 7, 6, 7 machines broken each week in June. Nobody fixing them. Here I have some ugly photos, dirty laundry room, dead mice. Oh, one great thing Cass Hill did, besides raising my rent 32%, that is before the Good Common Cause went in, thank you, but mine never went down. I'm still paying more, but they took the garbage out of the basement, put up garbage sheds with roofs. All right, that's fine, except now they're all overflowing, there's not enough cans, it looks pretty terrible. And here's my favorite. One of them, they never put the roof on. And what's really weird, the boards for the roof, they're just sitting there. The tiles to put on the boards are sitting over there. I'd really like the story on that, how that happened. But like I said, it's like nobody's in charge. You call them up, say, hey, these young men next door, they piddled off the steps, there's yellow snow. They're like, why are you bothering us? Last week.
Thank you, sir. Time
Okay, thank you.
And those, you would like to give us those for the record?
I will
the
do that.
pictures and stuff, yes.
Okay, just, may I say one more thing?
No, sir.
Thank you. I will abide. I will abide.
Clerk, call next speaker.
Dr. Evan McNay. Close, I apologize.
Before that, Mr. Kimbrough, we've reached our 30-minute time limit. Can you make a motion? Have more?
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to extend public comment 30 minutes.
Second. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. 30-minute public speaking.
Hey folks, thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'm Dr. Ewan McNay. I'm professor of neuroscience. I head the Alzheimer's and brain metabolism group here at SUNY Albany down the street. I've been working on the impact of environmental factors on health and the brain for about 30 years. Factors like diet, insulin resistance, zinc, caffeine. I've got more than 50 papers, 7,000 citations. I've got dozens of awards for excellence. I've advised 6 governments. Anyway, the point of all that is just to say, when I talk about the impact of environmental factors on the brain and brain health, I actually do know what I'm talking about. Please believe me. I didn't expect to be here this evening. A friend of mine told me that Albany was thinking about adding fluoride to the water. Asked me what I thought. I said, sounds like a good idea, you know, should help your teeth, but I'll go check the data, I'll let you know. My strong expectation was that I'd be supporting this. One of the really cool things about science is you get to change your mind when the data don't support what you thought before. And in this case, the data were not what I expected, right? When I reviewed the data, I thought it would take a couple of hours, ended up taking me a couple of weeks to do a proper job. There were 2 things that were clear and surprising. The first was, adding fluoride doesn't help your teeth. It used to. The 2 most recent high-quality world surveys apply to the US, apply around the world. There's a Cochrane survey from Canada, it's the gold standard. There's a World Health Organization survey. The impact of adding fluoride to water is literally 0. Before 1995, it used to have a benefit. It used to get about 0.2 of a less decayed tooth per child. With the increased prevalence of fluoride toothpaste and improved diet, the impact of adding fluoride in terms of benefit to teeth, I'm not kidding, is literally 0. There is no difference when you add water. It's when you add fluoride. So fine, if you're going to add fluoride and spend money, that's probably not a good idea for no effect. That wouldn't be enough to get me here today. The reason I'm here today is my second finding. That's that the high-quality, peer-reviewed research shows that fluoride is neurotoxic. It's very clear. The United States National Institute of Health came to this conclusion recently. 2024, they put out a summary saying fluoride should be regarded as a neurotoxin. The data have a clear link between the presence of additional fluoride in the water and a reduction in child IQ. There are clear and convincing, significance both scientifically and medically for increased depression and anxiety in children where fluoride is added. There may be a causal link to other things. The data aren't clear yet, so I'm not going to assert those, right? That's what you do. There's certainly a severe known harm in terms of brain health. I don't have time for the full class. I'll point out that fluoride is known to be carcinogenic. It makes brain cancer, glioblastoma, both more likely and more severe. It's especially harmful to young children and to fetuses. Fluoride crosses the placenta and accumulates in the fetal brain. Fluoride disrupts neurometabolism and hormonal signaling. These are all 2022, 2023, 2024 papers. I could tell you more at your length if you so desire.
Your time is up, sir. Thank you so much.
And I hate lectures. Fine. Thanks for the time.
Thank you. Clerk, call next speaker.
Patty Pierce.
Good evening. My name is Patricia Pierce, and I'm a resident of Albany. On September 24th last year, a federal court ruled against the EPA for allowing water fluoridation based totally on scientific literature and testimonies of many of the leading scientists in the world. I have a few quotes from that decision. The first one, there's significant certainty in the data set regarding the association between fluoride and reduced IQ. Next one, plaintiffs have proven by a preponderance of the evidence that water fluoridation at the level of 0.7 milligrams per liter, the prescribed optimal level of fluoridation in the United States, presents an unreasonable risk of injury to health. This landmark decision left no doubt the science had spoken. The only question was, would people listen? All over the country, many people were listening. There are now 61 cities who ended fluoridation since the court ruling, while none are starting it for the first time. The trend is clear. However, the trend didn't just start following the lawsuit. It's been going on for decades. Here are major organizations once on record supporting fluoridation, but pulled back, saying they no longer have a position. Alzheimer's Association, Arthritis Foundation, American Academy of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology, the Center for Science in the Public Interest, Consumer Reports, National Down Syndrome Congress, National Down Syndrome Society, National Kidney Foundation. Other organizations have gone even further, totally opposing it. They include American Academy of Environmental Medicine, Center for Health, Environment, and Justice, Food and Water Watch, Institute of Neurotoxicology and Neurological Disorders, International Academy of Oral Medicine and Toxicology, Organic Consumers Association, League of United Latin American Citizens, LULAC, the oldest and largest Hispanic advocacy organization in the country, and two major organizations in Canada, the Council of Canadians and Au Secours, a Quebec-based coalition of over 230 groups promoting clean, safe water. And yet we continue to hear promoters say there is a consensus that fluoridation is safe and effective. Obviously, that's not true. Safe Water Albany has put its trust in the science and the law, just like the vast majority of cities and countries in the world. The trend is clear. Please don't let Albany go backwards. Please withdraw this legislation to fluoridate. Thank you.
Thank you. Can the clerk call next speaker?
Tom Ellis.
Good evening, everybody. Tom Ellis. I live in Albany. I'd like to talk about water fluoridation a little bit. You just heard our expert, one of our expert witnesses. I understand that there was going to be a meeting of the General Services Committee tomorrow, and it's been canceled. I think an earlier one was also canceled. I'm hoping these cancellation of these meetings have to do with maybe people being on vacation and things like that, and I hope that these meeting can be rescheduled. Because we have three experts who would each like to speak for 15 minutes. They could appear probably by Zoom, would probably be over in less than an hour. Before we came in and opposed water fluoridation, when we first found out about it in October of '23, you heard experts who told you how great it is, okay? A lot has changed since then. You just heard Patty Pierce talk about Judge Chen's decision in September of '24, where he described water fluoridation as an unreasonable risk to human health. And then there's the National Toxicology Project reports at the end of the Biden administration. Florida and Utah have banned water fluoridation. It is vital that this city council hear the new evidence and the old evidence. It's important that you hear the experts on both sides of this issue, okay? My two major concerns are that nobody can prove that water fluoridation is safe, especially for children and toddlers and newborn babies or babies who haven't been born yet. And the second is that in the United States, we're required by law to sign for medical treatments that we want, and we have the legal right to reject medical treatments that we don't want. With water fluoridation, those two rights are taken away from us, and this fluoride in water is just rammed down our throat. A lot of people can't afford filters. A lot of people don't want to move, okay? I have a minute left. I'd also like to speak up in support of the people who live at Danker Village and Ida Yarborough. I hope that before this meeting ends tonight, that some of you can speak about why the city hasn't been dealing with these people's concerns for all of these months and years. These are ongoing problems. We need the next mayor of Albany, and we need the next city council and this city council to help these people rather than just passing the buck. Thank you.
Can the clerk?
Vivian Cornegay.
Good evening. My name is Vivian Carnegie, and Albany is the city I grew up in. It's the city I call home. Although I don't live in Albany anymore, my children still do. I am here regularly. My children and grandchildren are all here. I'm here today. Albany Housing has bigger issues than just Ida Yarborough. Albany Housing is a problem, period. They are a problem that needs to be dealt with. Citizens that live in Albany Housing are there because they're in need. The rents in Albany and surrounding areas are out of control. So hardworking people on the working class people that are not able to afford these rents need Albany Housing for the subsidized rents. My daughter is one of those people. On Mother's Day at 3:45 a.m., my daughter and my two granddaughters, aged 17 and 8, were asleep in their home on Jennings Drive. My daughter is a working mother. My 17-year-old granddaughter is an honor roll student, and the 8-year-old is just an innocent little 8-year-old. None of them have any gang affiliation or any affiliation that would cause them to be in a place to think that they would be awakened at 3:45 by gunshots entering their home. It is just by the grace of God that I did not have to bury my daughter and my two granddaughters. The rifle rounds that came through that house, even in the words of the police who were investigating that night, said it was just a miracle that no one died. The greatest wound physically was to my daughter, who had glass in her arm from the mirror that was shot, the glass projected into her arm. That glass is still in her arm. But the mental damage, the trauma that my daughter and my granddaughters are suffering now are unimaginable unless you've lived through it. And I'm saying this to you because Albany Housing has buckled down and refused to help her. They said in a statement in Times Union, we're working with the family. Not one person from Albany Housing Authority called my daughter to say, are you okay? Are your children okay? We're sorry that this happened. Not one person. And I worked hard with Albany Housing while I sat in that seat and before I sat in that seat. So right now I feel like it's a slap in the face that you won't even help my child to feel safe. My children, my daughter and my grandchildren feel unsafe, and they feel like they are less than, that they have no one to care for them because Albany Housing has turned a deaf ear. In an email to my daughter, they said, any correspondence will have to be done via email. We will not have conversations with you. They also said to her, in order to get the repairs done on her apartment, she needed to put in a work order. That work order was put in 3 weeks ago. They've done one repair. The rest of it is remaining undone.
Thank you. Thank you, former Councilman Carnegie. Thank you. And the clerk will call the next speaker.
Rick North.
My name is Rick North. I'm from Wellesley, Massachusetts, and I'm a member of Safe Water Albany. When fluoridation was first proposed, several advocates were given hours total to present to council members with opportunity for dialogue. Our national experts were never given that opportunity. All that was allowed were 3 or 4 minute public comments from those of us locally with no opportunity for dialogue. In my public testimony June 5th, Mr. Flynn, I asked you to have our experts present by Zoom to the General Services Committee. Mr. Adams had also asked you over a month ago. You told him you would. June 30th was proposed. Then we were told there wasn't a quorum, so July 8th was set with a quorum. Then last week, you canceled that meeting. As of this afternoon, you haven't rescheduled it. These were the expert presenters. Dr. Griffin Cole, a dentist from Fort Collins, Colorado. Dr. Cole was a practicing dentist for nearly 30 years with over 3,000 patients. He has also had numerous articles published in dental journals. He is now a national spokesman for the International Academy of Oral Medicine and Toxicology. He's appeared on dozens of ABC, CBS, and NBC TV segments and been quoted in numerous newspaper articles. Dr. Christine Till, a professor at York University in Toronto, and lead author of a groundbreaking 2019 study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, Pediatrics. It links significantly lower IQs in children whose mothers had drunk fluoridated water when they were pregnant. Out of the hundreds of research studies published by JAMA Pediatrics that year, it ranked #1 for attention and influence. And Michael Connick, the lead attorney in the successful lawsuit against the EPA for allowing fluoridation. It was historic, the first to be prosecuted under the Toxic Substances Control Act, and ingested fluoride is a known neurotoxin. There is no one in the country that combines Michael's knowledge of the science and the law on fluoridation. These are the people that you, the council members, have never been allowed to hear. These are the people that you've never been allowed to ask questions of. Again and again, Mr. Flynn, will you please set this meeting up as soon as possible? And committee members, Ms. Love, Ms. Zamer, Mr. Anane, and Mr. Clark, will you commit to hearing both sides of this story from the highest level experts available? Because if you don't, from where I sit, this isn't due diligence. This isn't a level playing field. This isn't right. I have to believe you want to do the right thing. Thank you.
Can the clerk call the next speaker?
Alana Klein. Can you repeat that?
Can't hear you, it's hard.
What? Okay. Crystal Harris.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Crystal Harris, and I am from Ward 13. I originally wrote this letter on March 28th with the intentions of bringing it before you, but at the time, I held my peace. Today, I can no longer stay silent. One of the main reasons I became a candidate for the Common Council in the 13th Ward is because I began to see a troubling pattern. One I cannot ignore, involving the safety of our children, especially our adolescents. Not too long ago, 2 children drowned in our very own Washington Park Lake. A few weeks later, a 15-year-old boy disappeared. 8 days after that, a 15-year-old girl vanished. Shortly after, 2 15-year-old boys were arrested in connection with an alleged murder. As an analyst, I see pattern. As a resident, I feel pain for the community. And as a member of this community, I am deeply concerned. Our children are perishing. It is now July 7th. Since I wrote this letter, the violence has only worsened. Over the 4th of July weekend, 10 people were shot, and children were involved in some of those incidents. Recently, I attended a village community meeting and can personally attest to the police department's willingness to be a part of creating solutions. I sat and I observed as Chief Cox, along with his officers and staff, stood before community members and I sincerely answered questions and concerns regarding the relationships between law enforcement and residents. But we cannot leave this work solely to the police. We must do more than reflect. We must act. And there is an opportunity to educate the public, and it begins in our schools. Even introducing programs like DARE, D-A-R-E, could help educate both children and families about violence prevention and community safety. It may not be the right solution or the perfect solution, but it's a start. And we have to start somewhere. I urge you all as city leaders to work with other sectors to put meaningful change and programs into place. Thank you.
Thank you. Can the clerk call the next speaker?
Beth Jacobs. Who's Beth? Is this Beth? Is he grabbing Beth? Beth Jacobs. Speaker is Alana Klein.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alana Klein. I live on Lark Street in Albany. First, I want to second all the comments about Ida Yarborough, and I wanted to second, third, fourth, and fifth the comments made about gun violence, because that happens every year in the city, and it's absolutely tragic. I don't know if you saw, but apparently New York City didn't have any shootings or killings on the 4th of July. And that, as remarkable as that is, to have the violence in our city compared to what happened in New York City, it just boggles my mind. My main point of coming tonight was to speak. I knew you would take the Firebirds out of order, but I want to speak to reflect what Mr. Adams said, and also to thank Jack Flynn for, I know I had a conversation with you, but it's really hard to describe how much this team means to the city and how much the city means to this team unless you've actually been there. I was there at the championship game, and there were probably 4,500, 5,000 people. That arena was loud every single play. There's a passion for arena football that goes back about 3 decades, and it's just something I can't describe. If you told me in 2023, after our team was dissolved and kicked out of the NAL, that 2 years later we'd be the first undefeated regular season and undefeated champions in 2025, I would have told you I couldn't believe you, or that I didn't believe you. So there's just something about the arena football in this area. It's a winning tradition. We're actually a destination for players who want to come here, which says quite something. So again, thank you, Mr. Adams and Mr. Flynn, for your time with us, and I just encourage you to come out to a game next year and see what the hype's all about. Boycott the NRA, Black Lives Matter. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. That concludes our public comment period at this time. We'll now move on to approval of previous minutes from previous meetings. Mr. Kimbrough.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer the June 16th of 2025 meeting minutes for approval.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Approval of minutes from previous meeting passes. There is no consideration of local laws on this agenda. So moving to reports of standing committees. Mr. Didn't he have Park and Recs? No reports? I thought we had.
Yes, the Parks and Recreation Committee met. We interviewed. Oh.
Go ahead.
The Parks and Recreation Committee met, and we interviewed a few candidates for the Flag Committee and also Monuments and Public Art. And we came and made a decision on a few candidates, which you have met earlier. So I urge my colleagues to support these candidates. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other reports of standing committees, ad hoc committees? Seeing none, we're moving on to ordinances, consideration of ordinances. Ordinance introduced. Mr. Kimbrough, are you going to do Mr. Johnson since he's not here?
Mr. Anani's got it.
Oh, Mr. Nani, okay. Go ahead, Mr. Nani.
Thank you, Mr. President. I notice ordinance 971.25 and ask for its introduction.
Thank you. Can the clerk please read the ordinance?
An ordinance authorizing the sale of 34 Cherry Street, tax map parcel number 76.66-2-5 to the Albany Housing Authority.
Thank you. Mr. Kimbrough?
Thank you, Mr. President. To referral to Council's Finance Committee.
Thank you. And ordinance introduced. Ms. Fredericks is not here. Who's doing it?
Mr. Anani again.
Mr. Nani?
Thank you, Mr. President. I notice resolution 1071.25 and ask for its introduction.
Thank you. Can the clerk please read the ordinance?
An ordinance authorizing the sale of various city-owned properties to the Albany County Land Bank.
Mr. Kimbrough?
Thank you, Mr. President. That is also a referral to the Council's Finance Committee.
Okay. I think that's it for the, Mr. Kimbrough?
Thank you, Mr. President. The rest of the ordinance is on the agenda as held.
Thank you. Moving on to considerations of resolutions. Sponsored Ms. Fredericks. Anani.
Thank you, Mr. President. I notice resolution 6871.25R and ask for its introduction.
Can the clerk please read the resolution?
A resolution of the Common Council approving the transfer of budget funds and a change in the authorized positions included in the 2025 city budget, which will affect a salary rate or salary total.
Thank you. Mr. Kimbrough?
Thank you, Mr. President. To referral to the Council's Finance Committee.
Thank you. Continuing on, Ms. Love?
Thank you, Mr. President. I notice resolution 69.71.25R and ask for its introduction.
Thank you. Can the clerk please read the resolution?
A resolution of the Common Council supporting the installation of a mural on the West Hill Community Center commemorating significant community leaders.
Thank you. Mr. Kimbrough?
Thank you, Mr. President. Referral to the Council's Parks and Recreation Committee.
Thank you. Moving on to Mr. Hoey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I notice resolution 7125R and ask for its passage via voice vote.
Thank you. Can the clerk please read the resolution?
A resolution of the Common Council celebrating July 4th, 2025 as Independence Day.
Thank you. Any discussion on this resolution? Mr. Hoey?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. You know, when this document was created, 200 and something years ago, it really didn't represent all the people. And over time, over the last, even the last 100 years, women weren't able to vote. Things have changed, and we will continue to change and evolve. But this was the first time that people stood up and said, taxation without representation wasn't right, that we need to have government and people should be involved. So this is a living document, and we move forward every year changing it, and I hope that we get to a point where we're like the showcase for the rest of the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments? Seeing none, since you're all co-sponsors, this will be a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Resolution passes. Continuing on, resolution introduced. Mr. Nani?
Thank you, Mr. President. I notice resolution 72.7125R and ask for its introduction.
Thank you. Can the clerk please read the resolution?
A resolution honoring the life and legacy of Destiny A. Green and renaming a portion of Wilbur Street in her honor.
Thank you. Mr. Kimbrough?
Thank you, Mr. President. To referral to the Council's General Services Committee.
Thank you. Continuing on, Mr. Anani.
Thank you, Mr. President. I notice resolution 7371.25R and ask for its passage on a roll call thereon.
Can the clerk please read the resolution?
A resolution of the Common Council appointing Jonathan Nix as a member of the Commission on Monuments and Public Art.
Discussion on this resolution. Mr. Nani.
Yeah, the Parks and Recreation Committee met and we interviewed Jonathan Nix, very impressive resume. A little about him, he's been in public service and public arts for over 40+ years, serving in local and regional government in Massachusetts, founded a public sculpture program in Pittsville, and since has moved into Albany and is a member of the Center Square community. We're very impressed and recommended him with a highly recommendation, a positive favor recommendation.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, can the clerk please call the roll?
Adams.
Yes.
Anani. Valorem.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Clark.
Yes.
Conti.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Farrell.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Flynn.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Hoey.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Keegan.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Kimbrough.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Love.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Robinson.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Zamer.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
13 in the affirmative.
Resolution passes. Mr. Anani.
Thank you. 7125R, and ask for its passage on the roll call thereon.
A resolution of the Common Council appointing Brian Fonder as a member of the task force on the municipal flag.
Discussion on this resolution. Mr. Anani.
Yeah, similar, Parks and Recreation met, we interviewed Brian. Just a little about him, he has over 15 years of experience with graphic designing, really focused on creative visuals, and also have a decade of experience in UI, UX, and web designing, which has given him a strong understanding of how to create design, but both pleasing, particularly when it comes to designs of flags. So, met with the committee and highly recommended.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Mr. Conti.
Thanks, Mr. President. Just a general observation in terms of the interviews. I just want to say that the applicants that we interviewed, there is a genuine enthusiasm for this project, and they all have a background that indicates creativity and a real interest in what I think is an important project. So I just want to commend all the applicants, and there's a lot of interest out there in this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, can the clerk please call the roll?
Adams.
Yes.
Anani.
Yes.
Valorem.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Conti, excuse me, Clark.
Yes.
Conti.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Farrell.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Flynn.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Hoey.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Keegan.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Kimbrough.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Love.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Robinson.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Zamer.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
13 in the affirmative.
Resolution passes. Continuing on, Mr. Anani.
Thank you, Mr. President. I know this resolution 757125R, and ask for its passage on the roll call thereon.
Thank you. Can the clerk please read the resolution?
A resolution of the Common Council appointing Duncan Lindsay as a member of the task force on municipal flag.
Discussion on this resolution.
I skipped one, I'm sorry.
Mr. Anani.
It should have been Liz Richards. I can read that one. No, we did Brian Fonder.
Which one?
7571.
Yep, I read the wrong.
Oh, yes.
A resolution of the Common Council appointing Liz Richard Hart as a member of the task force on municipal flag.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the Parks and Recreation Committee met. We met with Liz, who actually worked with a professor at former St. Rose. Very impressive with her resume, and also as it relates to being and love and passion for the city of Albany. So we're really excited to add her as well. Moved out of committee with a positive recommendation.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, can the clerk please call the roll?
Adams.
Yes.
Anani.
Yes.
Valorem.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Clark.
Yes.
Conti.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Farrell.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Flynn.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Hoey.
Yes.
Keegan.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Kimbrough.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Love.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Robinson.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Zamer.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
13 in the affirmative.
Resolution passes. Mr. Nani.
Thank you, Mr. President. I notice Resolution 767125R and ask for its passage on a roll call thereon.
Thank you. Can the clerk please read the resolution?
A resolution of the Common Council appointing Duncan Lindsay as a member of the Task Force on Municipal Flag.
Discussion on this resolution. Mr.
Yes,
Nani.
Parks and Recreation Committee met with Duncan Lindsay. Impressive resume, worked for WAMC, has a great experience with public relations and media, and we felt that he would be a great candidate for the Flag Committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, can the clerk please call the roll?
Adams.
Yes.
Anani. Valorem.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Clark.
Yes.
Conti.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Farrell.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Flynn.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Hoey.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Keegan.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Kimbrough.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Love.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Robinson.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Zamer.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
13 in the affirmative.
Resolution passes. Continuing on, Mr. Nani.
Thank you, Mr. President. I notice Resolution 77.71.25R and ask for its passage on a roll call thereon.
Thank you. Can the clerk please read the resolution?
A resolution of the Common Council appointing Benjamin Hoke as a member of the Task Force on Municipal Flag.
Discussion.
Thank you, Mr. President. Parks and Recreation Committee met. Ben was an impressive resume. Currently works as a marketing manager from a zone hospitality. Is very involved with the community, particularly with the Boys and Girls Club, and really had a great interview with the committee, and we're excited to recommend him.
Thank you. First, can the clerk please call the roll?
Adams.
Yes.
Anani. Valorem.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Clark.
Yes.
Conti.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Farrell.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Flynn.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Hoey.
Yes.
Keegan.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Kimbrough.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Love.
Yes,
Robinson.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Zamer.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
13 in the affirmative.
Resolution passes. Mr. Nani.
Thank you, Mr. President. I notice Resolution 787125R and ask for its passage on a roll call thereon.
Thank you. Can the clerk please read the resolution?
A resolution of the Common Council appointing Jonathan Petrozero as a member of the Task Force on Municipal Flag.
Thank you. Mr. Nani.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Parks and Recreation Committee met with Jonathan, and committee members were really impressed with his resume. He loves the city of Albany, currently lives in the Pine Hills neighborhood with his family, and will be more than happy to help with graphic design and redesign of the flag. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, can the clerk please call the roll?
Adams.
Yes.
Anani. Yes. Valorem.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Clark.
Yes.
Conti.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Farrell.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Flynn.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Hoey.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Keegan.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Kimbrough.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Love.
yes, co-sponsor.
Robinson.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Zamer.
Yes, co-sponsor.
13 in the affirmative.
Resolution passes. Next, Mr. Ballerin.
Thank you, Mr. President. I asked to notice Resolution 80.71.25R. Ask for its passage by roll call.
Thank you. Can the clerk please read the resolution?
A resolution supporting the Albany County Land Bank in its application to Empire State Development's Pro-Housing Supply Fund Program for state assistance in funding the Ontario Street Development.
Thank you. Discussion on this resolution. Mr. Ballerin.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, my colleagues. This is a resolution that I was asked to put together as a support for the project on 130 Ontario Street. For those of you who are not aware, this is a building that used to be the old Strive building that's been abandoned for almost 20 years. So this is a development that's going to create 71 mixed-use units, as well as become a community hub. So residents are optimistic about this project. They hope to get some of the issues that have arisen, that have surrounded the vacant building dealt with, and hopefully get some new life and new energy to the community. So this resolution is in support of the land bank and the developer going to Empire State Development for funding. This is funding that we are eligible for because of our for being classified as a pro-housing municipality. It's $40 million statewide, so hopefully we'll be able to get some of those fundings in our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, can the clerk please call the roll?
Adams,
Yes, co-sponsor.
Anani,
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Valorant,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Conti,
Yes, co-sponsor.
Farrell,
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Flynn,
Yes, co-sponsor.
Hoey,
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Keegan,
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Kimbrough,
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
Love,
Yes, co-sponsor.
Robinson,
Yes, co-sponsor.
Zamer.
Yes, co-sponsor, please.
13 in the affirmative.
Thank you. Resolution passes. Now moving on to, I know we got one resolution we're going to do at the end, but we're going to do with Ms. Keegan, resolutions held. Ms. Keegan.
I'd like to notice Resolution 5052.25R and ask for its passage.
Thank you. Can the clerk please read the resolution?
A resolution of the Common Council designating July as Disability Pride Month.
Thank you. Discussion on this resolution. Ms. Keegan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Disability Pride Month commemorates the passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act, which was a huge step forward for the disability community back in 1990. I think it's important for us to all understand that that legislation fell far short of what the civil rights advocates were asking for in terms of full community inclusion. And the disability community is vast. It represents a myriad of barriers and issues, and not everybody falls into one category. And they still face substantial barriers to full inclusive life in the community. Employment discrimination, housing discrimination, mobility barriers, and communication barriers. I also want to take a moment to notice our council intern, Maggie McAllen, who has been working diligently with me for the last 6 months on the creation of an Albany Commission on Disabilities, which hopefully will be introduced later this month. Her hard work and diligence really allowed us to work in coordination and in tandem and really listen to members of the community who face this issue and incorporate their voices into the development of that legislation. And since she's going to be leaving us for college in August, I think that this is the time that we can recognize the work that she has done on behalf of people with disabilities here in the city of Albany. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, since you're all co-sponsors on this, there will be a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Resolution passes. Now we're moving on to the final resolution of the night will be Ms. Keegan.
I noticed Resolution 7071.25R and ask for its introduction and passage.
Thank you. Can the clerk please read the resolution?
A resolution of the Common Council demanding departments of the City of Albany to furnish books, vouchers, and papers for the Common Council investigation on workforce culture.
Thank you. Now, is there Mr. Kimbrough?
Yes, motion to go into executive session
Second.
to discuss a personnel matter.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. So we will be in the executive session, so everyone will have to leave this room who is not a council member. And after that, you will be welcomed back.
Corey, we're going to
she introduce it yet? Yeah, yeah. No, I have closed this side here. We've already introduced Resolution 7071, 25R.
Testing. It's on.
Was introduced by Ms. Keegan. And so now, are we live?
Are we good? All right.
Are we live?
Okay, we're good.
All the way live. All right. 7071, 25R was already introduced by Councilmember Keegan. So can the clerk please call the roll?
Adams.
Yes, co-sponsor.
Anani.
Yes.
Valorant.
Yes.
Clerk.
Yes.
Conti.
Yes.
Farrell.
Yes.
Flynn.
Yes.
Hoey.
Yes.
Keegan.
Yes.
Kimbrough.
Yes.
Love.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Zamer.
Yes.
13 in the affirmative.
Resolution passes. Mr. Kimbrough, Mr. Kimbrough?
Thank you, Mr. President. The rest of the resolutions on the agenda are held.
Thank you. Any miscellaneous unfinished business? Ms. Love?
I'm going to stand up for this one. Thank you, Mr. President. I just wish people would stay around when they come down to complain so they can hear my side or anybody else's side. So Thursday, I was called to 45 Central Avenue for an incident that was going on with two of the workers there. When I got there, I was talking to one of the workers standing on the sidewalk. This lady, Mary Carter, come out of the building swinging a lock with a chain to it and hit her 5 times on the head. Blood was all over everywhere. I called 911. She got arrested. She got arrested. And she has an order of protection that I took the girl down this morning to court to pick up from the court system this morning. This Mary Carter is a problem. And I'm asking housing to get rid of her. There's so many complaints. The police department get complaints because she's calling down there on people in the building for no reason at all. And let me say something. Albany Housing, and I'm saying it anyway, Albany Housing ain't shit. Because the people, the way some of these people live is pitiful.
All right.
And I go over to 45 all the time. There's seniors over there. And they live in shit. Because nobody cares.
True.
Nobody's doing nothing for them over there. They pay rent. They sit outside. There's prostitution. There's drug dealings in the building. Nobody is doing nothing for them seniors over there. Nothing. And I also get phone calls from out of Yarborough because I have family members down there. And yes, they live terrible down there. And why? Why should they be living like that? Why? I'm going to stand up for my people for any reason and any time. And if I have a problem over at 45, I'm going over there. But she got arrested. She has a court date already, and she has an order of protection. Brian Quinn, down in housing, has the copy of the order of protection. This lady is a problem, but housing is a problem too.
Thank you. And for the record, myself, Mr. Ballerin, and Mr. Johnson, about a month or two ago, met with the Housing Authority Board. It wasn't a welcome. We were not welcomed. It was very hostile. They wanted to focus on North Albany when we wanted to focus on the many issues we've heard come in front of this board, coming from this table, not just from North Albany, but from other places as well. So I wish they were here. We did meet with them. It wasn't a pleasant meeting, unfortunately, but the passion that Ms. Love is pointing out is the frustration that we hear on a day-to-day basis about our housing authority buildings and how they are not secure. And this affects the whole city. How does it affect the whole city? If your public entity is not up to par, that allows your private entities to lower their standards as well. We have, you know, running for mayor, you're talking to so many constituents out there, and a number of our private housings for our seniors to take the care has gone down because private employers are like, where else are you going to go? So it is important for anything publicly funded and publicly ran to be, have higher standards, so that way it sets the standards for your private developers in your city to adhere to those standards. If the public development goes down, public entity, not just housing, but any public entity in your city goes down, then the private development goes down as well, because they know where else are you going to go. And a lot of our seniors are trapped right now as we speak into lack of quality affordable housing in our city. And so the passion that Ms. Love has shown and felt, many of our residents feel that same way. And we, as a council, I think leadership might want to talk about, we might send in a letter to the mayor's office, since 5 of the people on that board is appointed by the mayor's office, and let that office know of what we continuously hear and continuously have heard, with seems to be no avail. So that is how I see it today, and that is just my suggestion, but the council as a whole can figure out what you'd like to do on this matter, but I just wanted to let that be known. Mr. Kimbrough?
Okay, for starters, this is Ms. Johnson's first day, so everyone welcome Carly. She's our junior legislative aide, first day. And then secondly, just a reminder to members that we're postponing or canceling our caucuses between now and, our Wednesday caucuses between now and Labor Day. So that means that the caucus that was scheduled for the 16th is canceled. However, on the 21st, our caucus prior to our regular meeting will start at 6 p.m., not 6:30, to make up for the lost caucus time. Oh, okay?
Yep.
And with that, motion to adjourn?
A second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.